I don't think this works. Well, hi! So, one sec. Let me try and get a different. Just go with chill. Here we go. That's better. Okay. Hi! I hope everyone is having a great day. Today, we're doing something a little different. Today, one second, I gotta turn the camera on. Sorry. That's my computer going grrr. Okay. Oh gosh, that's blown. Here we go. Okay. So. Sorry, I'm just adjusting it before you can see it so you don't get much. But, okay. So. Let me turn that down a little bit. Okay. That's better. Is it good? Okay. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so the way this is going to be going is I am going to go up to my shelf, which is right over that direction, and grabbing some of the films off the shelf, all of them. We're going to go through all of them. I got a version of Godzilla here. I don't know if it's I don't know what version. It's just after Godzilla. I got a burrito. That's dinner. I got a Mountain Dew and some Doritos as well. For a microwavable burrito, it's pretty good. Pretty tasty. Okay. Let me just swallow quickly before we start. But how has everyone been? Has everyone been good? Doing good? Hopefully. Just making sure I sent out the notification on Twitter. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So the way this is set up, basically I have my table here and then my computer is right. So if this is where the table is, my computer's like right there. So it's like a little T section thing. So I want to go in alphabetical order because that's the way that I have my Blu-ray set up, except for a batch of a few, which when we get to that, I will let you know. Let me turn the exposure down a little bit. That's better. That looks a lot better. So, try not to breathe into the mic. But first, I'm gonna talk about this one. Because 20 Million Miles to Earth, and it came from beneath the sea. You're gonna see a lot of monster movies. You're gonna see a lot of them. So get used to seeing monster movies. And this is one of my favorite films. This is basically by the guy who made the visual effects is called Ray Harryhausen, as you can see. He's one of my major inspirations for film and sci-fi and monsters and visual effects and all that stuff. And you're going to see him pop up like 2 to 3 more times because I have a few of his films. I don't have all of them. I want to get all of them at some point, but I don't. But that's one of them. 20 Million Miles to Earth is pretty good. It's kind of the prototypical King Kong in a way. So if you're into that stuff, I'd recommend it. Give it a watch. Is this? Yeah, okay. I figured it was that. One second, I'm gonna have another munch of my burrito. Nom, 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 yum, yum, yum. How is chat doing? Everyone doing good in chat? Hopefully everyone's doing good. One sec. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, this film's good. I do kind of want to open some of them up. So, this is by Mill Creek. You'll see them pop up a few times. They're not as good as some of the other manufacturers, so I don't own many of them. But I do own a few, and this is it's kind of a cheap version, but it was a great way to get both of these films because they're kind of hard to get sometimes. Because there's a lot of thing that sucks, even with someone that has like a famous, recognizable name, Harryhausen. Some of these films are just hard to find, physically or just to watch. Period. There's a few films here that there's really no other legit way to watch them in America, at least, unless you own a copy. So, yeah. Oh, and by the way, my model down right there, she's kind of doing her own thing, because my face is in front of my camera, so I turned the tracking off, so she'll go side to side and that. So, yeah. Next up, The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. Now this is a lot of fun. I adore this movie. It's got a lot of fun moments. It's filmed in Dynamation. Basically, it was a marketing term back then to sell these types of films, and it's great. I love this film. It's one of my favorites. It's basically this swashbuckling film that has like cyclopses, dragons, and genies, and all this fun stuff, and it's all done really cool because like it's all done through stop motion, and then rotoscoping the stop motion into the film, and that's the most impressive part. It was all done by one person. This one guy, Ray Harryhausen, who I talked about previously, did all of the effects in the film himself. So it's pretty crazy. So I adore this film. This is one of my all-time favorites. Yeah, I just love this film so much. So, yeah. Next up is Federico Fellini's 8½. To be completely honest, I have not watched this yet. There are going to be a ton of them in here that I have not watched, mainly because I haven't gotten around to them. But this is one I haven't, and I have a reason why, because I own this, because the Criterion Collection right here, these guys, if the camera will focus, right there. Yeah, they're basically, they put out a lot of really great and influential films that are foreign, American, other stuff, and that. And this was one of the ones that I got. And one time I got a bunch of their films because there's a reason why they're so well renowned, because they have tons of bonus features, and they go back and restore the film to. They try to restore it to as good as it will look, as it looked when it first came out and first released, and as accurate as they can. And this filmmaker, Federico Fellini, Criterion released a box set of his films, not all of them, but a couple of them that are hand-selected. I have that, and this is in there. So I have not watched this because I want to watch it when I get to it in the set, which the set is not here. There's a good batch of films that I don't have here because they're back at home. So yeah, just to let you know that. But yeah, Fellini is a really cool filmmaker. He's Italian. He's cool. Next, A Touch of Zen. I have not seen all of this, but it's pretty damn good, the part that I've seen. This is a wuxia. Wuxia? Wait, let me look. I want to figure out how to pronounce it correctly. Let me pause the music so you can hear this.
武侠
Okay. want to get the English guy to say it.
武术
One sec. Nope, wrong button.
wuxia
Wuxia. Yeah, wuxia genre, sorry. Basically they're martial arts films. They're great. I love them. And this director in particular, King Hu, he's really good. He's one of my favorites. You're gonna see a few more of these types of films coming up, but this is one that's really great. Another Criterion release. To distinguish if it's a Criterion release, you will see that little C up there. That's Hi Sophie. Yeah, this is just come and chill. I'm gonna be babbling about films for a few hours, so yeah. But this is one of the films that I really enjoy, Touch of Zen. There's another one up there that when we get to it, I will talk about it profusely because I love it. But yeah, I love this director and I love Criterion and that, so yeah. Next, a little bit of a spooky one. Antlers. Okay. So quick thing about this film. Antlers, it's by the producer of this, Guillermo del Toro. He's a Mexican, well, he's from Mexico. He emigrated to America. He's an amazing director who I love. You will see almost about 90% of his filmography here. I'm only missing like one of his films. I love him to death. He's a great guy and a great director. And when I heard he was producing this, I was down. And then when I heard it was a Wendigo film, and I knew I had to see it. I had to. For me, a Wendigo is one of my all-time favorite monsters. So for it to get a movie, I was down. And then I watched it, and this was really mature in like a good way. It was very topical and violent, especially. This is on the list of horror films. Okay, this probably makes me sound like a horrible person, but okay, let me say it. I have a list of horror movies that kill children in. Okay? The reason why, okay, I have to explain myself. I was just curious, okay? I'm not into that shit. Basically, I was just curious how many horror films actually did it, because it's such a big like not sin, but like big thing that you really don't do unless you're edgy or actually have it mean something. Think A Quiet Place, for example. Yeah, but yeah, so this is on that list. But this is a really great film. I loved it. It's different. If you go in thinking it's a horror film, I think you're going to end up disappointed. But if you go in thinking it's a it's not directly a horror film, it's more of a drama and character study that has horror elements, I think you'll come out really well, really happy. I love this film, but I wouldn't recommend it to everyone, because I don't think it is for everyone, because it's very conscious about that, so yeah. Again, so next is one of the best shows ever made by many people, and myself included, even though I kind of prefer Korra. It's The Last Airbender. This is a great show. Like, there's really nothing else to say. Like, everyone knows this show. Like, you mention The Last Airbender, and it always comes up with, I love that show, or that show's groundbreaking, or showed me what animation can and can't do, and that it's genuinely a great show, and there's really no more I could add to the conversation that's already been said, because the conversation is so big and it's been had such a long time for appreciation. And I really hope I really want Legend of Korra to get that appreciation someday in the future, because it deserves it. Both of them do. Let me turn that up a little bit. Okay. But yeah, no, I love this show. It's genuinely great. Again, there's very little you can add to the conversation. You just set this down, and it has presence. Like, The Last Airbender show is there's a reason why it's one of the most well-regarded films, not films, TV shows anywhere, like kids animation, or just plain old TV shows. So yeah. Next, we're kicking it a little weird. This is a movie that my mom despises. I love it to death. She hates it because it's stupid, which is fair, but I adore this film. It's Big Trouble in Little China. I can't not love this film, okay? I love John Carpenter. You'll see his work pop up a few more times, but this film is so bonkers, and I love it. I adore this film, and it's one of my all-time favorites, and I just love the whole thing. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's stupid, but it's great. Let me have a bunch of... Yeah. A munch on my burrito. Okay. Oh, and this was released by a group called Scream Factory, which is a division of Shout Factory, and their releases are pretty good. They're pretty solid always. You'll see them pop up again. You'll see a few more when we get to them. I will let you know. But it's a great film. If you haven't seen it, it's a ton of fun. You have this main guy who constantly throughout the entire film has no fucking clue what is going on. And that's the whole joke about him. He has no clue what's going on. But the real hero in the film is this guy right here. The camera will focus and not have a glare. Well, anyway. Like, the main character of the film really isn't the hero. And it's so good. I can't, like, it's hard to I don't know, like, this film is so fun and it's so stupid and so action heavy in that it's just great. I love this film, and there's a reason why it's so iconic, and especially John Carpenter is such a great director in that, and this is one of his best. It's one of my favorites of his. It's not his best two are, I have most of his collection. Most of his films that I've seen. I haven't seen all of them, but I have I have three of his best films here, so you'll get to see them later. But great film. Watch it if you haven't. Another Criterion release for a film I haven't seen is called Beast of No Nation. I've heard nothing. I know this is on Netflix. I know this was a Netflix original, but for Netflix films to get physical releases, it's always impressive. And again, Criterion, they're a stamp of quality and artistic intent. So for me, if anytime I see that and I see a movie that I've seen, or like a movie that I've heard is really good and I want to see, I know I should pick that version up because it's normally the best version out there, because they restore the film, they add tons of bonus features. Every Criterion release, why don't I show you actually, comes with a booklet. Well, not all of them come with booklets. Some of them come with, like this, which is a giant spread. But a majority of them come with booklets. Some come with, like, little mini posters that you shouldn't put up because that's a crime. And stuff. But, like, there's a reason why these guys are, like, the top. They're like the top dogs in the Blu-ray game. So, if you get a film on here, you know you've done something good. Okay. Next is another Harryhausen joint. Let me scooch him out of the picture. No, it's not. Let me move my Mountain Dew. Another Harryhausen joint. The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. Fun fact, this film right here influenced this guy. Without this film, we wouldn't have had him. I'm serious. Like, this is the prototype for a Godzilla film, and it's interesting to go back. I don't think it's as good as it's better than some of the Godzilla films. There are some really bad ones, but majoritively I think it's an impressive film that a lot of people forget about, and it's a lot of fun. I do think it drags at the end. It's a 50s monster movie. It's like the first of its kind, so it's still learning the ropes and how to properly make one of these, so I give it some slack there. But it's a lot of fun. And finally, at the end of this batch, another one that I haven't seen, but I bought it mainly because of its photo. The Barge People. I don't care. I haven't seen it. I've heard it's terrible. But come on. What other films nowadays? This was at Walmart, Grant, mind you. Like what other films nowadays that are like these types of films? They get a fucking slipcover. Like, come on. I couldn't say no. Like, I honestly couldn't say no to it, so I got it. I have a problem, if you couldn't tell. Let me go put this batch up there and grab down the other batch. 1 second, let me take my mic off. I'm okay. I'm back. I'm sorry. I'm alive. I tripped. Let me actually move this over a little bit so when I have to go back around, it'll be easier. So, next batch of films. First up, we have Blade Runner 2049. Okay, so honest take here. I have seen the original Blade Runner. I have no clue what it's about. I can understand most films, but that film was really weird. I need to rewatch it. I do need to rewatch it. So, and I've only seen a half, I think, of this, and it was still great. It was genuinely, visually, extremely impressive. So I thought it deserved that, and I like this film. It's good. That's pretty much it. I haven't seen enough of it. Not enough of it. I haven't seen all of it, so I cannot properly judge it. But it was good. It's good. Good shit. Let me have a drink quickly. Hope everyone's enjoying the stream so far. At least trying to make it a little entertaining. Okay. Let me pull up the page again. There we go. Okay. Next is, this is a remake. There are a few remakes in here, and again, and quick thing, I don't hate remakes. There are some really great remakes, especially the one that I'm going to show here. There are some great remakes, and ones that I think improve upon the original, or just do their own thing, and I think it's genuinely a great film, and you need to even subtract that. There are some bad remakes, though, and I agree with a vast majority of them are bad, but this one's actually really good. It is The Blob remake, which I like this. This film's great. This film's a lot of fun. It's gory, it's gooey. It has no right to be as good as it is, in all honesty. But it's a lot of fun, and I enjoy it a ton. The acting is okay. The kills in this film are extremely memorable. Like, this guy right here, if you can see him, that is a scary-ass kill, but I love it. Another one that's one of my favorites is the theater scene. If you know what I'm talking about, this film quickly was on that list that I talked about earlier. But it's fun. This film is a lot of fun. it is dark, but darkly comedic as well. So it's nothing that's like too like it's not gruff and angsty and that. No, it's a fun watch. And that's the thing. That's what I like about in my horror films sometimes. I like the fun ones, the ones that are just enjoyable to watch and not depressing. I do like the depressing ones. There are a few in here that are mixed in that are... Are we getting any depressing horror films? A few, actually. But these are fun. I like my fun horror movies, and I like my depressing horror movies. It depends on what mood I'm in. Oh, and this is another Scream Factory release. This is one of the very few ones of Theros that I have the slipcover for. And it comes with a reversible sleeve. I love this art. This is my personal favorite art from this film. Like, it just... If it will not reflect... There we go. This is one of my favorite art of this film. The problem that I'm dealing with is there's a window right there behind the camera. Right there. So it's not fun. But this is one of my favorites. Favorite art. And this art's okay. It pales in comparison in the minimalistic, kind of scary thing that is this. Or not. You could be... I'm just gonna leave that there. I know people that are not... Yeah, I'm gonna stop that before I get... before Twitch shoots me. You can clip that if you want. Next is Blood Simple. Again, I have not seen this. Another Criterion release up there. I've heard this is really good, and Joel and Ethan Coen, they're the guys who made the movie Fargo, if you've seen that. Again, sorry. One of my pet peeves is when the little, like, the art piece. So, quick thing. So, this is basically behind a slip of plastic. And I always hate it when, like, it comes over the edge. Or a different edge or something. So, it's, like, out of the line. And the spine doesn't align. And it's just something that bugs me. OCD bug. It just bugs me. And I don't know why. It just does. So, this is one of my... Yeah, but I've been meaning to watch this. I know people would get mad at me for not watching it. But I really want to. I haven't gotten around to it because I haven't been in the mood. And again, when it comes to movies and that, it's okay not to be in the mood for something. It's okay to not watch a movie because you don't want to watch it. Like, there are some movies that I absolutely hate, and I don't watch them. And I've watched them before, and I'm like, I hate this. And then I watch them again, and I'm like, no, I hate this still. I don't want to do this again. And then I cut the person out of my life for putting me through a third time. I'm joking, actually. No, I don't go that far. I'd never go that far, because it's a movie. And one of my favorite pieces about film and film in general is by this YouTube channel called CinemaWins. If you haven't watched them, go watch them. They're great. They're basically the reverse of CinemaSins and not complete a-holes. I hate CinemaSins. I will not get into that, but I can if people want me to. But I don't like their content. I used to, but now they're just pretentious a-holes that are trying to make fun of the pretentious a-holes while they're also being pretentious, nitpicky, and not fully understanding how a film works in general. They want everything to be told to them, but if that happens, there's no stakes. So, like, and if they're told everything, they get mad at them for being told everything. Like, it's brain rot. It's pure brain rot. But CinemaWins, their channel basically is the opposite of that, and they focus on what films do good, and I feel like that's the type of film criticism that I prefer, and I personally do. Like, there's some movies I hate. Like, hot take here, the Jim Carrey Grinch. It's not that I know saying that I'm gonna get a lot of people, possibly Snowfy and others, to get angry at me. But I don't like it. It's not for me. I feel like they just drag the story out, and it works better as a short, and that's it. But I respect that people can enjoy it, and I feel like everyone deserves to have a movie that they love, and no one can judge them for it. And that's what I have. I have a bunch of movies up here that I love that no one else seems to, but I'm happy I love it, and I'm very proud to own it. But Yeah, so, and the quote that I'm saying is every movie is someone else's favorite movie. And that's the truth. No matter what movie it is, I gotta turn this down again. I wish I had like an auto mixer or something because I hate mixing audio. Let me. Was that? That was the. That was the pufferfish, wasn't that? I swear it was. Whatever. One second. Sorry. No matter what you think of a movie, someone loves it. Someone enjoys it. Someone thinks it's the peak of cinema or the peak of art in general. And that's okay. Let them have it. There's enough people in this world and there's enough things in this world that bring you down and bring people down in general for liking what they like. So, in my heart, I say, fuck that. Be critical. That's fine. I am 100% down for criticism because good criticism is very hard to come by these days. Because you either get pretentious a-holes or people that are sellouts, or there are very few people that are honest critics that actually do good critiques nowadays. But if you find them, like Chris Stuckman's really great. He's one of my all-time favorite critics just because he the way he always talks and the way he always dictates when he talks about movies is very great. Another great source for critics in that is Letterboxd. Letterboxd is great. It's a lot of fun. There are a lot of memes on there too, but you always get a good mix of people there. You always get some people that love this film and the people that hate it. And it's always important to, when you're watching a movie, look at both sides. And never be like, oh, why you like this movie, then you're X, or you hate this movie, then you're Y, or you think a movie is terrible. Never say that. Never completely call out a movie, because a movie is a piece of art that someone put out, and it takes a lot of time and effort to put out in the world. So, yeah. That was a rant. I'm sorry about that. Oh my god. I did not mean to go on a rant there. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm sorry if I went on a rant there and people kind of didn't care. I'm happy, okay? This is what I do. This is why I love film and that, so yeah. Let me just check Twitter quickly. See if anything's going on. I really hope people didn't hate my rant that I went on. I'm someone that always likes to put positivity in that out into the world and make people not smarter, but more accepting of others than that. So, yeah. Okay. Next, Bowling for Columbine from Michael Moore. And if you want to talk controversial, Michael Moore's your man. He is controversial as fuck. I've only seen this film of his. His style is very in your face, but it's nothing that I hate. It's okay. It's not my thing. This film's great. This film is genuinely great, but like, I'm probably not gonna watch any of his films again. Mainly because I don't like him. He's too in your face. Granted, we're gonna come across a certain filmmaker that many people continue to say that it's too in your face, but I love his work. So there's probably gonna be some conflicting opinions and stuff, but that's what I like. I always like conflicting opinions and other arguments and that. So next, another Criterion. I have a lot of Criterion, if you couldn't tell, but I don't have all of their films. They have over 1,000 films that they've released. So yeah, if you think I have a huge amount, no, I have like barely a percentage. But Okay, this is one of their box sets, and I'm probably gonna take this apart actually and show you guys. So this is the Bruce Lee Greatest Hits box set. If you don't know who Bruce Lee is, he's a awesome person who's badass as hell, and is one of the best martial artists ever done. He even made his own martial art, which is impressive as hell. But so yeah, so Bruce Lee box set. Let's open it up. Not all box sets from a Criterion are all the same, so it's always interesting to get them. There are a few other manufacturers in here that have done box sets that are pretty similar, actually. But let's pull that over there, and then let me move Godzilla. So you fold them out, you get this awesome amount of discs. You get 3, 4, 5. You have 7 discs of a bunch of different movies. Let me zoom out actually, so you can see. Yeah, you get a bunch of the movies and that. And you also get this poster thing. Well, it's not a poster; it's more of a magazine, and it's really cool actually because it's like that plastic, and then it's like this paper feel because it's supposed to be like a pulp novel or pulp thing. Because Bruce Lee was seen as someone that was very pulpy, and not really respected when it came to America, but in Hong Kong, where he's from, he's a major star. Still is. And, wait, he's from Hong Kong, right? Yeah, Hong Kong. Yeah. But yeah, no, he's one of the great action stars in general, and there's a reason why so many people respect him, and that yellow tracksuit is so damn, iconic. Something for the ladies and men, either way, and non-binary people. But yeah, like, you've got, like, this is the amount of effort that almost every release for any film is for Criterion. You can, I hope people can see now why they're so well regarded. Like, this is an essays upon essays on the films and on him in general. I was about to say Jackie Chan, but no, you will see him later. And that, but yeah, there's a reason why Bruce Lee is in that, and this is one of my favorite sets that I always hate that, like, I have this set and I've only watched one of the films, and that was The Big Boss, all the way over here, which was good. It's just I wasn't in the right mindset, if that makes any sense. So it's always difficult putting these together. No, it was in this left side. There we go. And then it folds up and slides right on in there, like so. But yeah, I've been meaning to watch this. This comes with Enter the Dragon, I think. Yeah, it comes with The Big Boss, Fist of Fury, Way of the Dragon, Enter the Dragon, and Game of Death. And that 7th disc, I think, is all bonus features. So this is a pretty big. It's got a lot of stuff in it, so that's why I enjoy it. Let me bring Goji back in, and then put him right there. Oh yeah. Okay. So when I was earlier talking about this is a fun horror movie, but also it could be seen as not a fun horror movie, but this is one of my favorites. I love this film. I love the style of this film. I love the kills in this film. This is a great film. I love it. It's very underrated, sadly. It's very, 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 very underrated when it comes to just remembrance. There's a huge batch of people, thankfully, that do remember it and recognize it as such, as being a great film, which is good. But then there are people that just forgot it and haven't watched it ever. And if you're a horror fan, I cannot recommend it enough, because it's great. It's really fun. But yeah. Yeah, one sec. It is, let me pull up the thing. Here it is. Sorry. It is The Burning. This is one of my favorite slashers ever. Because it's brutal. It's really well done. The story is intriguing. It's just genuinely a great film, and You got the visual effects guy who's named Tom Savini, who you will see a bunch of times pop up. Tom Savini is one of the greatest visual effects artists of all time. He's done countless effects for countless movies, and is one of the greatest of all time, and is still kicking, and he's still doing great effects, and this is one of my favorites of his. And this is a film that, so yeah, let me just read the back. Actually, it's the best, it's the easiest way to understand it. A group of summer camp pranksters get the scare of their lives when the target the camp's creepy caretaker, and he takes his bloody revenge. After a cruel joke goes awry, severely burning him and subjecting him to 5 years of intensive, unsuccessful skin grafting treatments, Cropsy is back at camp and ready to wreak havoc on those who scarred him. With his hedge clippers in hand, he terrorizes the camp and systematically mutilates each victim. Can a few courageous campers save themselves and destroy this demented madman before he kills again? Yeah, this is it sounds like a bare bones plot, but it's not. Well, it is, but it's not. It's so good. This kill is really great. This is an actual shot right here. Like the hip clippers are up there in the sun, and boom, it's great. And this film is one of my favorite slashers, and I cannot recommend it enough. It's such an underrated slasher film. This is from Arrow, which I'm not going to show you the reversible cover because it's kind of a spoiler, so I'm not going to. But this edition, this edition comes with a DVD copy and a Blu-ray, so extra incentive to get it. And again, I love this film. My Letterboxd review of it, I think, is this is Friday the 13th with balls, and I stick to it. I honestly do, because it's different. It's very different, and it also has like actual stakes and stuff. So it actually kills the campers, well, a few campers, not like little kids, thank God, but like kids die. Well, like teens die, and the teens are written and played so well that like you believe them that they're actual teens in that, and it's really great, and it's underrated as hell. And if there's a few of these films in here that I will talk about that are underrated, and I will urge you to go watch them, and this is one of them. If you love horror, you love slashers, you love good kills, watch this. This is great. Next is a very recent film, actually. I think it's one of the most recent ones. Let me have another bite. Excuse me. Yeah, this is one of the most recent films that I have. It's the newest Candyman, which I loved. Granted, the last 20 minutes just came out of nowhere like a truck. I don't like them, but the rest of the film I adored. It was very mature, methodical, slow, very poignant, and weirdly enough, sadly, it is the first Candyman film, at least to my knowledge, that has been directed by an African American. Which is weird because Candyman as a thing, the original film was so steeped in that type, and I hate saying culture, but like subtext of African Americans being oppressed by rich whites and stuff. And I know I'm talking about this stuff on Twitch, and I'm probably gonna get some type of repercussion for it, but I do think that it's sad that it took this long, but the wait was worth it. Definitely worth it. And again, I recommend this film if you are a fan of Candyman or a fan of Jordan Peele's work. He didn't direct this, but he wrote it, and Nia DaCosta, that is an eye to keep your eye on. She is working on the Marvels, which is Captain Marvel 2, which I'm actually excited for because of her, and also Natasha what's her name? I have to, 1 second. I have to, because she's she's amazing in this. The main actor who this guy on the cover, Yahya Abdul Mateen II, great actor. He's been in the Trial of Chicago 7. If you haven't seen that, that's pretty good. He's a great actor, and I cannot wait for the future for him. He is going to be someone to definitely keep your eye on, especially when it comes to future projects. So keep an eye on him. Let me pull up. I have to. Tanya Paris, great actress in this. She's great. And Tony Todd, he's in it for very short, but it's Tony fucking Todd. Oh my god, why the fuck does this have a 2.7? Oh, there's gonna be people who are like, it's too preachy. Like, no shit. There's a reason why these types of films keep getting made, like Jordan Peele, Spike Lee. The reason these films have kept getting made is because people have not learned the fucking lessons that this type of stuff is teaching us. Granted, I'm fucking white. Look at me. I'm fucking white as hell. So, take that with a grain of salt. But, again, there's a reason why these films keep getting made. It's because people haven't been learning the lessons that have been taught in these films. And, great film. Next is a weird one. I need to rewatch it, but I don't plan on it anytime soon. I like it, but at the same time, it's weird. The Church. So, this is a giallo film, which giallo is Italian horror. There's a bunch of backstory behind that, but I honestly don't want to go through it right now. Basically, Italian horror, really awesome, really interesting, really freaky, because it's weird. It's different than American horror, if you're not used to it. And this is a really weird one. This one it's a gothic giallo hybrid with body horror and Satan at a church. I have no clue, but I liked it. I liked it, but I can't call it great. It's a little muddled, but it's good. It's good fun. Again, kind of a hidden gem, but also not. But it's good. It's good. That's one of the takeaways. Is good. It's good. Next batch. Let's pull these up so we can get them all ready for transport. They're ready for transport, Mr. I don't know. One sec. There's garbage. We're picking it up. Okay. One sec, I gotta move shit. Okay. So, when it comes to films that are very well known, it's very hard to not mention the quote-unquote greatest film of all time, um, which is Citizen Kane, which I own not only one copy, but two. I've watched the film once. So, quick story. For one of my classes at school, they had us watch a movie outside every other week, basically depending on what year we were talking about, what decade. So I thought I was going to be doing it this week, and this was the one that I chose. It wasn't, so there's a few of them in here that I will talk about when they pop up. So I have this, and then Criterion, the Mad Lads, decided to release Citizen Kane in a 4K set, and I got it for Christmas. Let me show you how it opens up. Actually, it's pretty. It's cool. It's cool. So it opens up K, A, N, E, and then there's the booklet. There's the 4 discs, and then this booklet has like a bunch of essays, behind the scenes. You know I feel like you got the drill by now, and it's in this really nice packaging. If I can spell backwards. There we go. And then it goes on like so. Voila. And then it goes all nice and neat. So yeah, I have 2 versions of that. Next is one of my favorite box sets that sadly got no attention when it came out, but I loved it. And I watched through all the films in here, and I want to do it again, just because there were bonus features that I missed. It's this Cold War Creatures, 4 films by Sam Katzman. I love this set. It's by Arrow Video. These guys are also Mad Lads, who I love. They tend to release, compared to Criterion, these guys release cult films, and some cult films, majoritively horror and fantasy and other genre films that don't normally get releases. And this release in particular takes a bunch of films that have been forgotten, or like films that were noted but like no one really has seen them. People have. I know one of them is very, very well known. When we get to that one, I will tell you about it. But I love this set. It basically like shows the creativity of like a group of people and that to make a bunch of movies. And yeah, they're not all great. They're not great. No, these are all like three to very low 4-star films out of 5 on like Letterboxd. I'm just gauging. But they're fun. They're enjoyable, and they're great, and a great example of that time period, especially the 50s and 60s and that. And I love this set. And one thing that it came with was because this was the special edition, and the way that Arrow does it, I don't like it because I think that there are a lot of things that I prefer Criterion with, especially with their releasing structure and that. And the one thing that Arrow does is they release collector's editions, which come with booklets and other goodies, and then they come out with a standard release, and this is the collector's edition because I enjoyed the set. I saw the title and I'm like, I want to watch that because I love Cold War films because they're all interesting in a way. They're all different in that. But this comes with a bunch of essays and then images from the films. That's one of the films, and then the other ones all right there. And then it also comes with this. No wait, this is the. Oh yeah, no, this is the art book. I'm sorry. Hi, Maylene. I'm just here talking about Blu-rays that I own, and this is one of my favorite box sets of all time, Cold War Creatures, by 4 films by Sam Katzman. I love this set. Oh, Burrito. Yeah, no, I've been munching on this throughout the stream so far, but yeah, no, this is one of my favorites. And this is the photos and that, and behind the scenes images and that. And it's a lot of fun, especially with these films, because again, they're not that well known, and that it's always interesting to see them get this type of treatment. The other one is the essay booklet, which I've read bits and pieces of. They're really well done essays, and they're about the films and that why they're important. And now let's get into the films itself. So I have to do it. It's weird. I have to pull them off the shelf, and then when it comes to these box sets, I have to pull the movies out of the shelf, off from the shelf, off the box set. I don't know. It's a process, but first off was the Creature from the Atom Brain. I'm not gonna go too in depth with these films because they're part of a set. And again, if you are anywhere interested in any of these movies that I mentioned, or like Cold War creature features in general, I recommend this film. I cannot recommend this film enough, this box set enough. So yeah, it's a great one. But it comes with Creature with the Atom Brain, which is kind of a zombie film, kind of a revenge film. It's good. My personal favorite of the set, The Werewolf, which has like no right to be as good as it is. It takes the standard werewolf picture. It is a standard werewolf picture, but there's a little like extra spice in there that helps it majoritively. Zombies of Mortal, a fun zombie film that's kind of an adventure film in disguise. It's good. And then this is the one that many people may know because of the memes and the overall weirdness of the central creature. The Giant Claw. This is a fun monster movie. It's standard monster movie fare. What else? Like, come on. Enjoy it. Have fun. But yeah, let me put those all back up. But this is like the first of a few Arrow video box sets that you will probably see. So yeah. They're all fun. Fun times. And it also comes with this, which is all of the bonus features and everything mapped out. So, one of my favorite box sets. But Cold War Creatures. I love this box set a ton. And yeah. Okay, gotta put that up. Okay. Next, if you're into anything that's related to like Kill Bill or revenge flicks, I think you're gonna dig this one. Lady Snowblood. Another Criterion film. It's kind of a cult film. Why I hate that it's white, because it's white on white, and like the camera can barely read it. But it comes with two films: the original Lady Snowblood and Lady Snowblood: Love Song of Vengeance. I enjoyed the first one. I haven't seen the second one yet, but I really did enjoy it. It's very visually interesting in that, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah. Oh, I have this backwards. So this was supposed to be one of the last films we looked at. So here, let me. No, it works actually, because it's the complete, so it goes under C. I use an app to organize this. So yeah, next is another one, which is another Arrow release, which should have gone before that. Is Come Drink With Me, which is a King Hu film. I liked it. That's pretty much it. I liked some of the stuff. I liked the stunts, the battles. It was a lot of fun. Beautiful to look at. And that mainly because Arrow again remasters the films. It's a lot of fun. Okay. Sorry, I'm just organizing quickly. And then after that would be Lady Snowblood, which I talked about. After that, please don't judge me. This is one of my childhood heroes as a kid. I loved this person as a kid, and he's really awesome in that and helps me realize how much I love nature and animals and stuff. So the Crocodile Hunter movie. This movie is so weird. Mainly because there's like 4 plot lines intertwining in this film. So you got like him doing his own thing, taking a gator off, and then you have this, and then said gator has swallowed a part of a satellite, a US satellite that fell down to orbit. and the gator swallowed it, right? Okay, so you're with me, right? You're with me still. So the CIA, sorry, decides to go to Australia and pick it up, and then they're thinking, because he's trying to catch that same alligator, that Steve Irwin's a terrorist. I'm not joking. This is how the film goes out. That Steve Irwin is a terrorist, and they have to stop him. So the CIA wants Steve Irwin. He doesn't know that. He wants to find the gator and relocate it. Meanwhile, it's so weird, and it's such a weird film that I love it. And I miss Steve Irwin. He was, again, he was one of my heroes, especially for someone who found out that they love animals and that. And I love him, and this is a very special place in my heart, even though it's not a great film. I still love it, and I'm very happy that I own it. And it comes with a single disc. Very sturdy case though, like really sturdy. Next up, a movie that I have not seen yet because I just haven't gotten around to it, but I want to. It's a Nicolas Cage film. I have 2 films with him, both of them really weird. It's called Color Out of Space. This is a Lovecraft horror starring Nick Cage. It's all I know, all I want to know, and pretty much it. I got this for $5 at Walmart. That's about it. Yeah. Pretty straightforward. Next is another Guillermo del Toro film, which this is one that I need to rewatch. Like, honestly, I need to sit back down and rewatch it because it's different. It's different in a good way, but like, I like it. It's just, I don't know, it's different. Crimson Peak. I own almost all of his films except for 2, so yeah. But this one's a weird one. I like most of it, but there are other parts I don't like. It's interesting because I love Del Toro. I love the set design of this film. It's astounding. The creature designs are great, but it just falls flat on the love story bits. I still love it. I still am happy that I saw it. It's just, I don't know. It's one of those films that I'm not 100% sure on, and I want to rewatch it at some point. Okay. Sorry, I gotta... Why is there a sad piano music? My god. What the hell? Let me skip this. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay. Let me just munch on my burrito quickly. Okay. One sec, I want to get a drink as well. I have some Mountain Dew. But yeah. Hopefully I'm not coming off super pretentious and shit. Yeah, I love this stuff. This is fun for me, and I enjoy sharing what I love and that with people and that. So yeah. Next up, another Guillermo del Toro film is one of his first, actually. I think one of his first major films, and this is a Mexican film, because he was still in Mexico at the time. He immigrated to the U.S. because his father got kidnapped and put up for ransom. So yeah, he went to America. He's like, yeah, nah, I'm not gonna deal with that. But next film, Cronos. It's a vampire film, but it's different. It's really interesting. It's really weird. It's got Ron Perlman, who I love. I love Ron Perlman. Who doesn't love? Like, honestly, who doesn't love Ron Perlman? He's such a great actor in that. Yes, he plays like one character, but in this one, it's not his normal character. It's different in a good way, and I like it. It's a good film. Would recommend searching out for it. No, looking for it. And for this batch, this is the last one for this batch, is Dagon by Stuart Gordon. This is a Lovecraftian film. It's if you know the short story by Lovecraft of Dagon, you know this film. It's pretty damn good, actually. It's not a 1-to-1 adaptation, but it's pretty close. It's interesting, it's cool looking, and it's directed by the guy who made Reanimator, so yeah. I enjoyed the film. I watched it, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I'm happy I got it, and that. And I thought it was a good time overall, and it had some really interesting visual effects. They got the fish people really well done, actually, so it wasn't, like, cheesy. It was like, that's a person that's turning into a fish. It wasn't subtle, but it wasn't too over the top that made it look bad. Okay, let me grab my next batch. The next subject. Okay, I'm back, and I just basically went and grabbed all the remaining stuff on the first shelf. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 shelves. Four. So next up, this is one of the first kaiju films I think I'm going to talk about today. That it's weird. It's interesting. I love the series. I love the films. It's just like they're different than most other kaiju films, and I feel like that's what makes them really interesting and cool for me. And this is the Daijimon trilogy. Daijimon. Yeah, Daijimon. Basically, giant stone statue that comes to life and wreaks havoc. And this is set in feudal Japan, 16th century. There are 3 films that are kind of not connected because, like, they really don't, like, there's no through line. It's just he's there and is wrecking shit, and it's great. They're great films, a lot of fun. I'm not gonna open this up because it's kind of a hassle to take apart. In that it comes with an art book, an essay book, and it comes with the first film, Daijimon, Return of Daijimon, and then The Wrath of Daijimon, all 3, and this nice, nifty little box set with some awesome art on the back. Like, that is some cool art. You have to give it that, and some cool art here. But yeah, some great art, great stuff. If you're a fan of Godzilla, recommend it. I recommend Godzilla, Gamera, that type of stuff. I recommend them. They're fun. Next is a very underrated... Well, it's not even underrated. It's just a fucking hidden gem. It's a hidden gem film that I found one night browsing through Amazon, and I fell in love with it after watching it, and I always like to share it because I feel like it's a very underrated film that I think should get more love and more of a following. Sorry, I'm just looking at what else is there. It is Dark Was the Night. This is a very, very underrated film. It's very dark and moody. It's an atmospheric horror, but like it's really good. There's a creature, of course, but like it's really good. And I don't want to give away much because I want people just to go watch it. But you will not be disappointed. Hopefully, if you watch this, you will not be disappointed. So watch it, please, please, please. Just do it for me. Do it for me. If you're a horror fan, watch it. If you're not a horror fan, it's okay, you can pass. But like, if you're a horror fan who loves atmospheric, dark creature features with a hint of John Carpenter, it's not like John Carpenter-ish. Well, it has some moments, especially when it comes to the darkness and that. But I recommend it. It's really great. And it really should get more love than it really does in that. I love it. I would love if Arrow or Scream Factory got their hands on this and re-released it, because I feel like it deserves it. It definitely deserves a really good, not restoration, but a good reevaluation. So, yeah. Next is a classic. I think it's one of the best in this trilogy. I think it is the best, opposed from the first, which is very hard to compare the two because they're both really great and genuinely all of them are classics. Sorry, I'm eating. Okay. This is Day of the Dead. George A. Romero, who's the godfather of the modern zombie. This is his third of the Dead film, Night, Dawn, and Day. I prefer Day over Night. I think Day is better, but they're all three are genuine classics. It's very hard to nail which one's the best because they're all great. But it's a great film. It's got an amazing characters, amazing kills. It's great. It's one of my favorites, and it's a great zombie film. If you haven't seen the other Day of the Dead films, I recommend it. Night of the Living Dead's public domain, so you can watch it anywhere, but Criterion has a phenomenal release of it, so I recommend if you want to watch it that way. Dawn of the Dead, you cannot get your hands on in the US because of fucky reasons. It's fucking stupid. I could go on a rant about that, but I'm not going to. And then Day of the Dead, released by Scream Factory. Pretty easy to get your hands on, so yeah. It's weird. The first and third films are the easiest ones to find. The second one is the hardest because the producer is a prick. And at one point threatened to burn the negatives of the film. I am not joking. And if you don't know what a negative is, basically it is the film itself. It's like deleting the footage. But it was filmed on film, so that's what I mean. And it's very flammable. So if such as like one bit of that sets on fire, it's fucked. The film is fucked. And there'd be no way to recover it. So yeah. And for film preservation's sake, that's fucking stupid. And again, in my opinion, I think any film, no matter good, bad, should be preserved for art and that. So, yeah. Next, another giallo film. Another film by Dario Argento. Argento? It's Italian, it's hard to pronounce for me. It's Deep Red. This one, I haven't seen all of it, but I liked it. I do plan on rewatching it, but it's weird. It's weird. It's Italian horror. Italian horror is very distinct. Once you see an Italian horror movie, it's like they're different. They're all interesting visually and sound wise and everything. It's really good. I cannot recommend Italian horror to enough people because it's like really great and there's some genuine great films there. It's just people are always off put by it for being so weird. But yeah. Next, a film I honestly didn't really like. One of the first, I felt like it had a good first part, and then a second, and then something happened, and then it just never recovers. One sec. Okay. It is Dementia 13. So the reason I got this was it looked cool. Like the cover looks really cool and really distinct. But another reason why is it's the first film by Francis Ford Coppola, who, if you don't know, makes wine. But if you also didn't know, he used to make movies. He made some really small films, if you've never heard of, called The Godfather, Godfather 2, Apocalypse Now, like some low-key films that like no one's heard of, but this is not good. It's not. It's slow, pretentious, and not even scary. Like, there are some scary bits, but majoritively it just doesn't come together. And this is the director's cut. The director's cut. It doesn't even come with the theatrical cut. I would have loved to see the theatrical cut, personally. Because I feel like it'd probably be better, but also, like, Like, it has elements that could be really great. It just, besides fuck that, no. I don't hate this film, but like, it's a letdown. It's a major letdown, and I do not encourage anyone to get it. But if you like it, like it. Rock that shit. Another Giallo film, because I was in a Giallo phase for a little bit of time. It's Demons by Limberto Bava. Dario Argento produced it. Oh, excuse me. Produced this film, but Limberto Bava directed it. It's weird. A bunch of people are stuck in a movie theater, and there's these demons that are attacking it, and there's a scene where they're driving motorcycles through the theater with a machete and killing demons. It's really fun. It's weird as hell and wacky and shit, but it's really good. I would also just I'm not gonna open it. Well, I am, but like the people who produced this also produced some stuff which isn't good, but I'm not gonna get into that. Okay. Next. Yes, okay. So, you ever just go to the bargain bins at Walmart? Or am I the only one that ever does that? Like the bargain bin of, like, movie bargain bins. Like those $5 movies, right? Yeah, so I did this and got this. It looks cool. Like with a poster like this, I wouldn't blame you if you decided to pick it up for only $5. It's so bad. It is good, but like, I don't know. It also loops back to being bad because, I don't know. It's great. I love it. But at the same time, I hate it. It's really conflicting. I have some other movies in here that are so bad it's good, but like, this is on a whole nother level. It's just very weird. It's very weird. But like, I don't know. I still like it. I'm still happy that I picked it up because like, I don't know, but it's a weird film because the effects are terrible. The effects of this film are absolutely terrible. The two children in this film cannot act for their lives. The mother's decent, actually. I do give her credit there, but the effects of the dinosaurs are laughably bad. There are some good shots, actually, but like, you can clearly see how they did it in that, and I can't help but not see the charm in it, because it's like something I would make, but shittier, but just as better than what I would make, because I don't make good shit, but whatever, like, I'm happy that I own it. It's just such an anomaly that I picked it up, because there are a dime a dozen dinosaur movies. It's just this one at the bargain bin at Walmart. I had to. You see this, and you're like, okay, what is this? And then you pick it up, and you watch it. Why isn't the music working? There we go. It's like that time. It's like, I don't know. It's like you see it's like a car crash. No, a car crash. You know what I mean? It's like that analogy of a car crash that you can't look away from. That's what this film is. Yeah. If you can watch it for free, I'd recommend it. I'd watch it with a beer, definitely. With like a few beers, a few friends. Great time right here. I'm not joking. It'd be a phenomenal time. Next is a actually serious film that has a lot and has a reputation for being not only controversial, but like also one of the best films that I've ever seen. But it's also controversial as hell because of reasons. I don't want to get into that here because I don't want to get banned. Well, no, it's nothing bad. It's just like, this came out '89, so people weren't really ready for this, or like people weren't susceptible to it because it was early '90s, late '80s, and people weren't ready. And not that they weren't ready, it's just they weren't accepting of this and the accepting of the tone and idea that the film has. It's Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. Another Criterion. If you haven't seen this film, I urge you to watch it. It is super relevant today. It sadly is super relevant today. And it's poignant and it's powerful and it's hard to talk about this film in a very it's not that it's in a positive way. No, it's a phenomenal film that's well constructed in that. It's just there's a certain weight about it that like looms over it in a way. Like I'm white, so I can't talk about all of the subtext the film has or all of the moments that make the film so powerful or all the characters or stuff, but I can tell that it's something important and something important is being said here. But yeah, no, that's the main character, Mookie. That's Sal. There's his sons. This is another Criterion release. It comes with 2 discs. One the film, and then the other one I think is also the film, but also bonus features. You got more of the characters on the street corner. You got a hefty booklet that comes with an essay, and then a giant excerpt from Spike Lee's journal when he was making the film before, during, and after shooting, and it's crazy because there's a lot. Hi, the place I hate most, England. Oh no, you're in England? Are you British? Hi, Orion. Yeah, I'm just going through movies, and I'm talking about this film, Do the Right Thing. Again, phenomenal film. Spike Lee is one of my all-time favorite directors. Saddle, yes. Aww. But I cannot recommend this film enough. Yo, you're British. Oh God, there are a few British films in here. You'll feel home. But I urge everyone to watch this film. Especially when there's like police brutality protests or anything like that going on. It's a film that came out in 1989, that is sadly still relevant and still effective to this day. Sorry for that downer note. Next is something actually very funny and an underrated thing in my opinion. I hope you're doing good, Orion. You can just chill out here. I'll talk about movies and stuff on my shelf. Polar Express, no, I don't own that, sadly. We're only in the D's. And I've been going for about an hour and 30 minutes. And I'm only in the D's. So... okay. Let me just eat the last of my burrito. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I have a big ass collection. I've warned people. Yeah. One second, I'm just gonna uncrush shit. There's some stuff in here. Okay. First, this is a TV show. This is only 2 seasons of it that I love, and I love little bits and pieces, especially with this packaging, that are very funny. It's Documentary Now. So, if you don't know about this film, about this show, is basically it takes a bunch of very famous documentaries and spoofs them. And the way that it does it is basically it takes like the seriousness of a documentary and then throws in comedy writers to write the fake documentary around. It's really weird, but really great, and I love this. I love this show so much, and I recommend it to most people. And if you notice, it has the fake Criterion thing, and the way it is, it's like this prestige show. Like it's set up to be like this real prestige show about documentaries. No, it laughs at it laughs in the face of all that stuff. And it's a lot of fun, and It's so good and it's so funny, and I wish it had more seasons. There's a third season which I haven't seen, but I wish there was more. I want more. I need more because it's so good. It's so funny and so good. Highly recommend it. Next is Dog Soldiers, which this is a fun film. Like the way to describe it is a bunch of Scottish military people versus werewolves. I'm not joking. That's pretty much the bare bones basics of the film, and it's great. You got a DVD and Blu-ray here, and the thing about the film that makes it interesting to me, at least, is that it was lost. The negative for it was lost for years, and very recently, actually, they found the negative and are remastering it, and I can't wait to get my hands on it because they're doing a new 4K remaster of it, which I hope and I pray is going to be phenomenal, because this film is great. This film is so much fun. If you like Evil Dead, if you like the Evil Dead, definitely you'll dig this. Like, definitely dig it. Yeah. I don't want to give more anyway, but if you like the Evil Dead, you're gonna love this movie, and this is one of my personal favorites of my collection. And I'm happy that I own it, and I can't wait to get the 4K of it because it's gonna look gorgeous. Because I have a 4K TV, and I bet it's gonna look real pretty, and I'm very excited for that. But this is a great movie. Werewolves versus soldiers in the Scottish Highlands. It's a good time. Let me put that down there. La-di-da-di-da. Hope everyone's enjoying this. I'm. This is like, again, I feel like this is super nerdy, and probably people aren't giving a shit, but I don't care. I really don't care. I'm enjoying this a lot. No, sorry. Okay. Next, this is the last King Hu film that I have, and this is my personal favorite of his. It's called Dragon Inn. It's so good. It's a martial arts spectacle of a film that, like, it's hard to describe. It's Technicolor, so it's very pretty and it uses the wide shots really well. And it's so good. That's pretty much it. It's a great film. Watch it. I know a lot of these are getting more bare bones, but like, there are some films that are better just left to just watching it instead of someone describing it and talking about it. So yeah. Okay, the next film is, I think this is actually one of the most recent films in my... No, Candyman wasn't more recent. This was more recent, technically. I think. I'm not sure. I'll look it up later, but it's Denis Villeneuve's Dune, which 4K, because of course. But this film's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I can't wait for part 2. I think part 2 is going to be even better, because the groundwork was set up. All you got to do is knock down the dominoes, which have already been done, but like, you know what I mean. Like, there's more to the story and I can't wait to dig in to this. And I love how the discs are. It's so good. If you haven't watched Dune, do yourself a favor, go watch it. It's great. It's really visually impressive and interesting. It's cool. It's really great. It's really great, and I think Dune is one of the best films that came out last year. Not the best, but one of, easily. Okay. Next, so this one was another Criterion release, and this is one of my favorite films that they have released. Yeah, it's only on DVD, which sucks, but like, I'm okay with that. I feel like the DVD helps. One sec. Okay. Sorry, I just popped on Discord and the Subterra Tales Prillis, someone who's real cool actually. Prillis just posted a picture of a possum saying it's gay day with a pride flag. Possums are cool. Possums are cute. But this is the film. Let me close it back up. Equinox. This is another. It's a low-budget creature feature film that basically was the way that Phil Tippett, the guy who made the visual effects in a lot of things actually, Star Wars to Jurassic Park to a lot of things. But yeah, it helped him get into Hollywood and show off what he could do in that, and is one of my favorite visual effects artists. And if you are a big fan of stop motion and stuff, I recommend this. Running out of room. So this film is pretty fun. I don't know. I want to rewatch it. I don't know. Just, it's kind of not a good movie, but it's enjoyable. It's enjoyable. It's an enjoyable bad movie. Sorry, I gotta close the thing up. It's Escape Plan, starring Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's a lot of fun. It's basically them trying to break out of a prison that's quote unquote unescapable. It's really good. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's got some cool fights and stuff, and it's good. I liked it. And you get to see Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger in a movie together, which happened. That was the first time that it happened ever. So it's kind of impressive that it took that long. Sorry, I'm readjusting the picture. Next up is, in my opinion, the best Marvel movie of last year. And yes, people are going to be like, oh, it's No Way Home. No, it's not. Think about it. What letter am I in? What letter? We're in the E. We're in E. I wish I could. I should have pulled that video up. Whatever. It's Eternals. Yes, I said that right. Eternals, the best Marvel movie of last year, if not one of their best, or one of the best, and also one of the best films of last year. I will die. I will not die. I will die on this hill. I will die on the hill that says Eternals is a great film that I do not understand why people hated it. Like, I really don't. Like full transparency, I don't understand why people hated it. I don't understand what people hated about it, because it's... Sorry, there was a bug. It's honestly one of the best Marvel's ever done. Full stop. It's not good. It's introspective. It's so good. Just, if you think this movie's terrible, I urge you to give it another shot. Please, give it another shot. Give it. Just watch it. I hope you love it. I loved it the first time I saw it, because it felt like a DC film in a good way. Because, like, yeah, no, like, they're not gods, but they're pretty damn close, and I loved that. Chloe Zhao's directing in this film is so good, and like, it's very hard for me not to love this film. So yeah, there's Eternals. and I'm probably gonna get a lot of people that are gonna be angry at me saying that Eternals was the best Marvel movie of last year, because this one was great. WandaVision was also one of the best. I do think this is better. I think WandaVision's better than this, but I think that's also really good. But Shang-Chi is also really good too. Shang-Chi is up there as well. I need to get Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi. Yeah, I want to pronounce it right, but Shang-Chi is one of my favorites as well. So, yeah. I really liked Eternals. Some people didn't, and I'm okay with that. They found it pretentious and weird and like that, and I'm like, I don't get it, but sure. Okay, next, I got this basically because of the name and a little bit of the cast, because it has some great people in it, but Exorcism at 60,000 feet. I started watching it. It was fun. I need to finish it. It's low budget, a little sleazy. It's got a stupid title. Yeah, pretty much. It's a horror comedy, and I tend to like those, so that's why I got it mainly. And yeah, and I like Bill Moseley, and I like Lance Hendrickson. Both of them are great actors. Okay. Next is a Shout Select. So Shout Factory, the guys who put out a bunch of these movies that I talked about earlier, they have a Shout Select brand, which is like a few of films that they selected and put them in there. Same stuff as like Scream Factory and that, but yeah. Sorry, why am I yawning? I don't know. But yeah, it's Explorers. I have not seen this, but I've been meaning to, and I tend to like the films that are like ET-esque and that, and I like 80s films, and it looks like a lot of fun. I keep the secondary artwork on there because I like that a lot. The last two of this of the first shelf. So yeah, and then we'll start the second shelf, and then yeah, hopefully go on from there. Or I could split this up into multiple streams. I might do that, but I might not actually. I want to keep going a little bit. Let's go for a little bit longer, and then we'll see where we end. Because yeah, let me just quickly. Okay, one sec. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. So, okay. Next one. I watched this unknowing what it was, but it's so much fun. God, it's so much fun. I recommend this one to any major horror fans that love Evil Dead, Day of the Dead, Night of the Creeps, any type of that. This is Feast. This is the unrated edition. But this is kind of another hidden gem film that I own, and I'm very happy to. It's a very, very, very fun film that's weird, but it's fun. Because, like, it takes some of the horror tropes that you know and love, and then mixes them up a bit. Let me just have a little drink of water. I hope you didn't hear me gulping. That was probably gross if you were. But okay. So this is a lot of fun. There's a bunch of monsters, a bunch of people, Oh, it's so much fun. Again, I recommend most people, most horror diehards and horror fans to watch it because it's insane what happens, and it's best to just go in blind because it's fun. It's it's the type of horror we don't get much nowadays. We don't get just the fun horror. Excuse me. Again, I'm sorry. We don't get the fun horror that's just fuck it. Let's throw some monsters at this group of people and enjoy and have some fun. That's what it is, and that's why I love it. Yeah. And then finally, so anyone that knows anything should know. Not anyone. I mean anyone that knows film history and that should know the name John Waters. He is by far one of my favorite directors, just because he's so chaotic. He's the most flamboyantly chaotic man I have ever seen, in the best way. Like, it's hard not to love him, because yeah, he could easily make a phenomenal film. He just doesn't want to. He just wants you to have a good time. Like, he's not sleazy, but like he knows his target demographic and that panders to them in the best way, but also making something that's thoughtful. And one of his films that I own, I own another, and I will talk about that when we get there because that's going to be a lot of fun. Talking about that because it's one of my favorites. Is Female Trouble, starring Divine, who is amazing. I love Divine. She's the best. She's a drag queen who is in the majority of his films and is one of my favorite actresses of all time, who has sadly passed away. But John Waters is someone that is just so like, he is like, you know, where like almost all the gay stereotypes, like the high voice, the very flamboyant, he has all of those stereotypes, but like doesn't look down on them. He uses them in the best way, and that it's hard to describe John Waters because you just gotta watch his films. That's all you gotta do. You just gotta watch one of his films. Just watch any of John Waters' films and you'll understand. He's very weird, but very, very good. Okay, so that batch is done. I'm gonna start moving them up. Yeah. Let me just. Oh no. Sorry, I just saw my friend, Dreadmother. She's cool. She just posted Silver Bullet. Ugh, my timeline's being flooded with Pokemon art. So let me do some deep Pokemoning art in your timeline. This movie terrified me, and it's Silver Bullet. Yeah. They're great. I love her so much. She's a lot of fun. And loves horror. And I love talking about horror to her, especially at 3 a.m., which is very weird, but also really cool. I'll be right back. One sec. Gotta pull this stuff back on the shelf. Gotta pull stuff off the shelf over here. Everybody got that? Good. Hello, I am back. Okay, so this next batch, I'm just gonna warn you. This is some of the physically biggest sets I own. You'll see what I mean. Doesn't have the most amount. The most amount's near the end in one collective set, but physically speaking, these are the biggest. So, but first off, let's start small, because alphabetical. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. So, next is one of the weirdest films that's been released by Criterion, but I feel like that's why I like it. That's why I like it so much. It is Fiend Without a Face. This is a British horror film where, like, you don't see the monster, and I haven't watched it, but it's weird. It's a B movie that Criterion of all people released. So, like, I'm into that. So, like, I had to. Like, you tell me that, and I'm like, okay, I have to pick this up. You can't talk me out of picking this up. But yeah. Yeah, you couldn't not, like, I couldn't not pick it up. So, yeah. One of my favorite werewolf movies. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I farted there. Let me just bump this over. Yeah, I haven't seen this movie, but it's still interesting that Criterion would release that, so that's why I have it. I do plan on watching it, I just haven't gotten around to it. That's going to be a recurring theme, just to let you know. There's a lot of movies here that I haven't watched yet, and I plan on watching, I just haven't done it. Next is one that I actually enjoyed. It's a little weird, but I enjoyed it, actually. It's called Flight of the Phoenix. It's got a fucking great cast. James Stewart, Richard Attenborough, Peter Finch, Hardy Kruger, Ernest Borgnine. There's a lot of really great actors in this. A lot of great classic film actors in this film. And it's a good survival film, to boot. Did I really just say to boot? My god. But you know what I mean. Like, it's a good film. It's a good, solid film that... It's a good time. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it. One sec. Why are you focusing? Camera, why are you having trouble focusing? Autofocus, come on. Okay, sorry. Okay. Wow. Next, a box set that I love, but I hate that I haven't watched. I've only watched 2 of the films in it, mainly because I've seen one and then I saw the other one. But it is The Fly collection by Scream Factory. I love The Fly. The Fly is such a cool concept for a horror movie villain monster. I don't know, it's just interesting to me. Like, I love this type of stuff, and And it also doesn't hurt that you have. Why the fuck am I blanking on him? 1 second. David Cronenberg, thank you, and 1 sec. And Jeff Goldblum in your film doesn't hurt. Yeah, I've seen the Fly remake and the first The Fly. Both of them I enjoyed. I enjoyed them. They were good. But the other ones, let me pull them out. The Return of the Fly. Come on, focus. Return of the Fly. Curse of the Fly. And The Fly 2 I have not seen. So I need to watch those. I just haven't done it yet. Again, you will see going forward there are a lot of movies in my collection that I have not watched yet. And I really need to. I just haven't gotten around to it. And again, this is another Shout Factory well, one of the first Shout Factory releases that I've shown yet, because no, Shout Factory box sets. I mean, sorry, my bad. Shout Factory box sets. One of the things that I'm not a huge fan of Shout Factory is like the back part kind of just flops around, and I wish some of them I've put them in there, but this one for some reason won't fit. It's too big. But yeah, it comes with a bunch of bonus, special content, tons of stuff. Yeah, if you're a Fly fan, pick it up. If you already haven't, if you want, but if you already have it, great. It's a great set that I enjoy thoroughly that I have, right? No. English. Okay, so first up is this, the Frankenstein Collection. Legacy Collection, which, to be completely fair, I have 2 copies of. Because I also own this beast of a set. The Universal Classic Monster Collection, which has all 30 Universal Universal Monster films. All in one set. All 30 of them. And this is arguably one of the worst sets I have ever bought. And I do not say that lightly. This is by far one of the worst sets I've ever, period. It sucks. It does. Because the way that it's set up is it's set up by Monster. So if you want to watch the movies in chronological order of, what year they came out, like I do, you have to pull up the back of the box, which has them all in the right order. Find the disc, pull the disc out, put it in the thing, and then having to go through all of them. But the one positive though with them is, let me just pull these out. They're in these types of cases instead of the on top, which is a lot better for the discs and also for my sanity. But also some of the restorations in here are dog shit. Really bad. There's jittering. If you don't know what jittering is, basically the film shakes as it's being projected. There's shake. The film doesn't look as crisp. The sound doesn't sync up. And again, this set cost me $200. If your set costs me $200, I expect it to all the films, all 30, to look at least comparable. But no, some of these are gorgeous restorations that I 100% think improve the film experience. But there's some of them just drag the films down. And some of them and I also feel like there needs to be more bonus features. Because really, there's not many. Because per thing, there's basically bonus features on only the movies they want to talk about, which in this case would be Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Dracula, Mummy, Wolfman, Invisible Man, Creature from the Black Lagoon, and Phantom of the Opera. That's it. They don't want to talk about any of the crossovers, any of the sequels, which, like, Daughter of Dracula. Holy shit. If you have not seen that movie, I urge you to. And if you're any person that is part of the LGBTQ plus community, watch it, please. Because there was subtext in that film that thankfully was lost on the censors at the time. But now, at least, I get it. And Daughter of Dracula has no right to be as good as it is. I think it's better than the original Dracula, and I think the original Dracula is pretty not that great compared to nowadays. And there are better vampire films in general, but like, regardless, and that. But I have enjoyed watching these. It's just the set itself is so it feels lazily thrown together because again they recycle discs. Let me actually show you how many copies of a few of the movies I have, because it's kind of stupid. So let me pull that to the side. So in the Dracula set, let me show you what I get. What you get? Wow, you get the original Dracula, Daughter of Dracula, Son of Dracula, House of Frankenstein, House of Dracula, and then Abbott and Costello Frankenstein. Right? Keep in mind these three. Okay, keep in mind those three films. Right? Just Wolfman. You get the Wolfman, Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, House of Frankenstein, House of Dracula, Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein, and then Werewolf of London, She-Wolf of London. That is 2 copies so far. 2 of the same 3 movies. Let's do it again. The Frankenstein collection. Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Son of Frankenstein, Ghost of Frankenstein, Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, House of Frankenstein, House of Dracula, Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. Come on, people. Like, I get this was a cash grab and they just threw it together, but that speaks of nothing but laziness. And this is coming from someone who wants to like the set. I wanted to like the set, but it was not worth the price I paid. So, just to let anyone know, if they're interested in this set, the Universal Classic Monster set, and loves this types of stuff, do not buy it at $200. Do not. Absolutely do not. If you can find it for cheaper, do it. Go for it, because it has got some great films that are honestly, half of the films in here, this is the only way to watch them. Which is fucking stupid, because there are some genuinely great films in here, and there are also some really stinky ones. But just the whole set together, and this is the thing. Let me show you the one thing that sets it apart from just buying all the standard releases and single. Besides, Phantom of the Opera, which you cannot buy. Which this is one of the exclusive films that comes with the set. Is this 40-page booklet, which only goes over the surface level. Like, seriously, it's bare bones as fuck. I hate to be so negative, because, like, some of these movies I really thoroughly enjoy, but, like, come on. Universal. Hand these off to Criterion or Arrow. They will make this shine. Like, genuinely make this set. And, like, the way that I would have set this up would be chronological order, so it's easier to understand, and that. And then have, like, a host or someone go through each film one by one, talk about them, and that. And there's one other set that's going to be coming up in a few minutes after this that I think does that really, really well. So that was my little rant about this set, which, again, I'm happy to have, but do not waste your money. I urge you, do not waste your money. And especially with this copy from my Amazon, they decided, so let's say you're packaging this up. I'm going to put this in a box, right? Nope. They put it in a fucking bag. A bag. That's why it's so damaged and beat up. Like, you got this piece coming off, you got the top piece coming off. I'm very happy to have it, but like, my experience with it has not been positive overall, and that's just me. Okay. Oh, and I just want to let people know if there's any movies that you think I would enjoy, and would thoroughly enjoy watching and or owning in my collection. I don't urge you, but if you want, you could totally just pop them down in my throne or just tweet at me on Twitter. Yeah, because I always like taking suggestions of what films I should watch, what films I should buy, and that, because I always enjoy that, and I always enjoy talking to people and being really in a community where we can swap stories about what we think about movies, because that's the thing. I love movies, and I know people out there also love movies, and I just like talking about them. Okay. Next up is another film I haven't seen. I'm sorry, but I do want to watch it because it's supposed to be really good. It's called For All Mankind. It's basically it's a documentary on the lunar landing in that. And and it uses it talks to all 24 people who have gone to the moon and talks about them and uses footage. It uses footage from NASA and that to put it together in that. It's supposed to be really cool in that. Yeah, it's supposed to be really good. I hate that I haven't watched it. I need to get to it. It's, again, you see the movies that I have and you see what I've been working on and that, and I feel like, yeah. Okay. Excuse me. Next up is the physically the largest collection I have. And I'm very happy. That I love this collection. I'm happy I got it. I got it at half price, so it was a steal. But definitely it's worth a buy at full price. I'm not saying that you should only buy it at half. No, this set's great. It is the one, the only Friday the 13th complete collection, deluxe edition. Sorry, collection deluxe edition. So basically, this is every single Friday the 13th film in one set, and it's so good. Cause like I'm watching them all for the first time here, and I've been enjoying my time. There have been a few stinkers, but honestly, no matter what, I've enjoyed it. Like I've enjoyed watching these. I'm on the last two. I'm on the Freddy vs. Jason and then the remake. Those are the last two that I'm watching, that I have to watch until I'm done, and then I have the whole bonus disc. But this is a set. This is one of the best sets that I own. I'm happy to own it. It's got amazing artwork. Cause it's like what else could you do for Jason other than have this amazing artwork? Get all of his films in one set, even the bad ones. Like even though people that hate them, come on, you got to give it some reverence. Like, it's Friday the 13th. There's a reason why it's so iconic in that. But yeah, like, comes with a booklet, the back, if you don't know what's on it, in it. This collection, which has like all these features here, but these aren't all. But there's more features on the discs. So yeah, yeah, it's such a good set. One of my only gripes is the Jason Goes to Hell spine not lining up, as you can see. Bugs the shit out of me. It's like, look, it's like way out of line. It bugs me, but I'm fine with it. I love Jason Goes to Hell. I'm sorry, I was dreading watching Jason Goes to Hell, but I watched it and I'm like, this is great. This is so much fun. I love this movie, and I feel like I probably am on a list somewhere now for liking Jason Goes to Hell so much. Yeah, I probably am, but I think it's great. I think it gets a bad rap. Yes, it's weird, it's different, it's not like you barely get any Jason in it, but I love it. I'm sorry. Jason's a deadite, and you just get all of this crazy shit, and I love it. I love Jason Goes to Hell so much, and like I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy I saw it, because like it, in the weirdest way, it reminds me of Malignant because of how batshit insane it is. But like, I don't know, it's so good. That's one of my favorites. I know it's not like the most well regarded and shit, but it's a monster, man. It's one of my favorites for a reason. And that other favorites are, of course, Part 6, Jason Lives. That's one of the best. You got Matt Takes Manhattan. That one's good. Final Chapter 3, 2 are great. 5 isn't that good. 7 isn't that good. 8's pretty good. 9's pretty good. 10's okay. And that, but there's a reason why the series is so beloved and so iconic. And it's gotta do it with a hockey mask, I guess. But yeah, I love these movies, and I'm very happy I got the set. And this is, again, one of my biggest. The Fellini set is physically bigger, and the Godzilla set is also physically bigger, but I don't have those. But this is still one of my favorites, and I love it. And just, it's so happy to get them all. And I hope, cross my fingers, that we get a set like this for Nightmare on Elm Street. Because that would be great. I would love to get a Nightmare box set like this. Because I haven't seen any of the Nightmare on Elm Streets. And I feel like, again, I'm probably on a list somewhere for not seeing those. But I have seen Texas. I've seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1. So I do have some credibility. I don't have much, but I have some. But yeah. Yeah. Great set. If you love Friday the 13th, I recommend it wholeheartedly. I would do it. Just bite the bullet, do it. It's worth every penny. It comes with every bonus feature ever produced for the series and all the films. I don't think it comes with Crystal Lake Memories, but that you could easily track down online. But it's still such a good film, good series in this. And this is one of my favorite sets that I own, and I'm very happy I bought it. So let me grab the next batch. The new batch. That was a Gremlins 2 reference if you didn't get that. Jesus Christ. Why did I just make a Gremlins 2 reference? Why? I really don't understand why I made a Gremlins 2 reference. But I'm enjoying this. Okay, I was just making sure if I was live. Sorry. Okay. One second. Okay. Wah. Wah. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, let me just have another drink and then I'll put this stuff up. Mountain Dew. Okay. Focus. Come on, camera. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay. Wow. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so the next batch of films, we're going to be doing part of the G section. You could make a joke there. I am above that. I'm not, but not mentally I'm not, but physically yes. So let's get going. So first up is I know God. It's hard to introduce these because they're so tied to the next to something else that it's hard to do them single back to back, but first up, the Gamera Showa era collection. I love this turtle. I love him. Gamera is the best, and he's one of the best kaiju out there, and this was my introduction to him. This and the Showa era and the Heisei era collection, both of them come together to make this amazing art piece. Like, genuinely is one of my favorite things that Arrow has done, and I think they're great. And yeah, the Showa era, I don't think it's as strong as the Heisei. We'll get into that, but there's some fun films in here. So let's go through them. So the first one is the original Gamera. Gamera the Giant Monster. It's okay. Second one though, Gamera versus Barugon. I love this one. Gamera vs. Barugon is one of my favorites. It's so good, and it's mature and that, and I love it. Gamera versus Gauss. It's okay. Don't mind it. Gamera versus Varus is okay. Both of them, and Varus and Guiron. I don't remember most of them, mainly because I just think they're okay. They're good. They're good. Just pretty bog standard for a Gamera film. And then finally, is Gamera versus Jiger, which I love. I love Gamera versus Jiger. That one's really good. Gamera versus Zigra is not good. It's pretty not bog standard. Pretty just plain old bad. And then you get Hellspawn. Gamera Super Monster is honestly one of the worst films I've ever seen. Mainly because it's a stock footage compilation with discount Super Sentai characters thrown in. It's not good. It's not good, but it's watchable. And that. Yeah, they're fun. But Gamera, I've always loved. Not always, but ever since I saw him, I liked. I always liked Gamera. One sec. Oh. Sorry, I just got an email from my teacher. Sorry. Again, Gamera. I love him. He's such a great turtle. And this is one of his first, like, it's a first nice little package of kaiju action. And I feel like Gamera should return in some form. Maybe fight Godzilla? Maybe, come on, please. Come on, it'd be fun. The giant turtle versus Godzilla would be so cool. But yeah, I love Gamera. Next up is where the adults come in. There's the Heisei era. Now this is when shit gets real good. So there's this guy named Shusuke Kaneko, who is genuinely one of my favorite directors. He comes in and decides, yeah, let's do Gamera. Let's do a Gamera trilogy, 3 films, right? This is like the holy trinity for kaiju films. Gamera, Guardian Monster, Gamera 2, Rise of Legion, and Gamera 3, Revenge of Iris. These are like 3 of the best kaiju films ever made. And there's a reason why they say that. And this is coming in from someone who's like, it's just a turtle. How good can it be? And then I watched them. I'm like, oh shit, these are great. And the Gamera trilogy overall is one of the best trilogies that I've ever seen. So go watch it if you haven't. If you're a kaiju fan and you haven't seen the Gamera trilogy, do yourself a favor and go watch the Gamera trilogy. Please. Do it. Just do it. Please. The Gamera trilogy is easily one of the best 3 kaiju films ever. Because you got a fun monster romp, you got a really interesting monster here, and then a really interesting character study here. They're all different in that, and they're all impressive in their own way. And that. But then you have what this is going to be a bit of a hot take, because there are people that hate this one. There are people that hate Gamera the Brave, but I don't. I think Gamera the Brave is extremely underrated. Yeah, like Gamera the Brave, it's like people are like, oh, it's just E.T. I'm like, yeah. Your point? Like yeah, it's not full on ET, because if it was, Steven Spielberg would be copyrighting the shit out of this movie. But it's different enough, in my opinion, that I think it stands on its own as something that's really good. Because it's just interesting in that it's a really weird mishmash of ideas, and that in the best way. It's not bad, no. It's a great film that I think people need to give a second look at. Because it's really emotional and really resonating in that. It's got a cool design for Gamera. Yeah, he's redesigned completely, and he doesn't have his iconic roar, which sucks. But I'm okay with that as long as the story's great, and it is. The story's genuinely great. And same thing with I forget his name, but the enemy kaiju. Oh, and fun fact, the writer of the Gamera trilogy wrote Ghost in the Shell, so like, yeah, there's some pedigree to this, and there's a reason why it's so beloved and so well renowned when it comes to kaiju fans and that. Next is a movie that's not so well regarded. One second. Thank you, Kiki. Sorry, I have like Twitter open and I'm checking it occasionally. But yeah, next up is one of my favorite John Carpenter films, and it's not the one you're thinking of. So, yeah. You ready? It's Ghosts of Mars. I know, people hate this movie. I love Ghosts of Mars, okay? I think it's fun. I think it's a blast. I do see the criticisms. It's just, I don't give a shit. Like, I enjoy the film. I love it. I think Ghosts of Mars is a lot of fun and an enjoyable romp. Yeah, you can feel that it was probably Snake Plissken, but I feel like Ice Cube, especially Ice Cube, I think does enough in the role to make it his own. And I do think Jason Statham, I think he's in there for a little bit. I don't think he's really well utilized. But a very weird comparison that in my brain I make with it is it feels like the first Resident Evil movie in a way. Because it does. It feels like the first Resident Evil movie directed by John Carpenter. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. Like, it's action. There's a lot of action. There's horror. There's gore. There's weird dudes. It's fun. I enjoy Ghosts of Mars a ton, and I think it's one of his most underrated films. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's as good as most of its other films, but I dig it. I think it's fun. I think it does a lot right compared to what people make you believe. They think it's a crime against cinema, but no, it's not. It's a competent film that's a lot of fun, that doesn't take itself too seriously, that is an enjoyable watch. And I love it. I love Ghosts of Mars. One sec, one sec. I'm just gonna tweet out saying, yeah. This music's nice. Sorry, I'm looking for the right GIF. Sorry. Okay, controversial tweet sent out. Sorry, I just had to quickly. So I feel like after I get through this little section, I'm probably gonna call it for today because I've gone for like almost 3 hours now. But I might see how I'm feeling though. But Ghosts of Mars, very, very underrated, and I feel like it deserves a better reputation. Yes, it killed John Carpenter's career, which I hate. I hate that they killed it, that he got killed. Well, no, he's still alive. John Carpenter's still alive and kicking, thank God, but you know what I mean. It metaphorically killed his career. So, what is next? Is Godzilla by Ishiro Honda. This is the Criterion release of the first film. I have the Showa era box set, so no need to worry on that. I have all of the films. It's just this was one of my first ones that I got. I think this was like my second or third Criterion ever. No, yeah, this is my second. And it's got this awesome pop out. Wow. I know it's not the right Godzilla, but I like it. It's cool. It's a cool pop out, and I love Godzilla, and I feel like this is easily one of the best of his films because it's very poignant and moving and emotional and that, and I strongly urge people to watch it. So yeah, and it spawned an amazing franchise that I love, and I hope more people do, question mark. Okay. Next is the 1984 Godzilla, which this one I don't love as much, but it's still pretty damn good. It brings back, this is the Japanese cut, not the American cut. I don't think it comes with the American cut. I don't know though. I don't know if it does, because it's hard to get your hands on. It sucks, and I'm happy to own it, but at the same time, it's just kind of feels it's a little sucky. But if you ever do get the chance to watch it, I recommend it. Or if you get the chance to buy it, I do it. The reason why I don't have the Blu-ray was the Blu-ray was probably about 50 bucks, 50 or more. Same thing with the DVD. So I swooped in, grabbed the DVD for 40 bucks off eBay, and I thought it was going to be a fake, but no, this is actually a genuine copy. Somehow I got my hands on it, and I'm very happy I did, because, again, I'm very happy, because I feel like everyone, I don't preserve many films, and I'm not someone who archives the film, the footage. No, I just buy them and set and watch them, and I feel like if you don't watch the movie, why the fuck buy it? Why do you buy it? Like, yeah, there's a few movies in here that I need to watch. It's just like, I hate people that just collect for the monetary value. I feel like they are the scum of collecting because they boil it down to monetary gain instead of like for preservation or something you thoroughly enjoy. Because again, like everyone worries about money way too much nowadays, and this is not coming from like a communist or anything. This is just like I do get why money is so important. It's just, I don't know. Next is basically the entirety of the other Godzilla movies in the Heisei and Millennium series. So let's go through these, actually. So in Volume 1, it comes with Mothra vs. Godzilla, King Ghidorah, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, Godzilla vs. Destroya, Mothra, Mothra 2. And then in the other discs, it comes with Godzilla 2000, Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, Godzilla vs. Megaguirus, Godzilla and Mothra King Ghidorah Giant Monsters All Out Attack, or just GMK for short, Godzilla Final Wars, and Godzilla SOS. And this is how I got the majority of the Heisei and Millennium series, because again, those are very hard to come by. Almost any Japanese Godzilla movies, besides the Showa era now, thankfully, and a few of the other ones are very hard to come by. So it's always great to have them. Like, again, foreign movies, especially in other markets and that, don't do as well on DVD or Blu-ray or in theaters as domestic films, but I feel like people should go out there and find foreign films, because there's so many great foreign films out there that you've never heard of that are great, and I think people will love them. It's just they need to do it. They need to go out and watch them. Sorry. Okay, so the last 3 films for today, we're gonna go through them, and then I'm probably gonna call it for tonight. Yeah, I do want to continue this. I think tomorrow, I might. I think it'll be fun. But now, let's go through the last 3. So first up, Shin Gojira, or Shin Godzilla, by Hideaki Anno, who did Neon Genesis Evangelion. Easily one of the best Godzilla movies, hands down. I love the design, and the film is also really damn good. Yeah, recommend it. It's great. Yeah, there's a reason why it's so well regarded, and it won in Japan for their Academy Awards. It won Best Picture, like straight up, their equivalent for the Oscars. it won Best Picture, which is impressive. Next up, Godzilla 2014, the new 4K UHD version, which I think is the superior version to any other version because everything is so much more clear. Not only like from a clarity perspective, but from a colors perspective as well. The film looks a lot better. The darker scenes are a lot better lit. Well, it's the same scenes, like it keeps the mood and everything, but you can see things a lot clearer. And it's really damn good, and this restoration is really great. And again, I think I hate that this movie's so, like, there are some people that love it, there are some people that vehemently hate it, and I feel like the people who hate it clearly don't understand it, or probably just don't like it, and that's okay. But I think it's a great film. I think it gets a terrible rap for no reason. Yeah. Yeah, go watch it, please. And then finally, one of my favorites, that, again, I hate that it's hated, and I hate the people that don't like it, but the people that do like it, I love it, and I hope that more people love it, is Godzilla King of Monsters. I loved this movie. I saw it twice in theaters. It was worth every penny. God, this movie is so good. It's so much fun. It's a monster mash. It's everything you want from a Godzilla movie and more. And in the best way. So, like, yeah, I cannot recommend it enough. Well, I think I'm gonna call today's stream here. I had a great time. I'm probably gonna see you on Friday for a little bit of a longer stream to finish this up, because I have about a quarter, like a third of a shelf, and then 2 more shelves. And if this took 3 hours, I bet that's gonna take even longer. But I hope that more people come and join, and I hope you enjoyed this. I very much enjoyed this because this is what I love to do. I love to talk about movies, show them off, talk about why I like them, why I don't like them. I like that stuff, and I've always enjoyed this and that. So, yeah. I hope you all have a great night and do good and be gay in this Pride Month. Happy Pride Month, by the way. Be gay, do crimes, and bye!